My name is Chiaki Hill, and today we're going to talk about why the Army should not be mandatory, or even other services like the Peace Corps or Habitats for Humanity. All these ideas stem from positive thinking, such as we should help one another on the streets. But by forcing people to join these types of programs, we're creating a safety hazard, not only for the individuals that we're forcing to join, but also the ones who they're trying to help. The Army itself is older than the country it serves, with over 1 million soldiers participating in it today. It is not something that people should be forced into. Individuals who are forced into do things are not always passionate about what they're doing, but they're always looking for a way out, such as getting themselves hurt on purpose or trying to find a lawsuit so they don't have to work. If an individual isn't motivated enough to go to college or to work a job, then why would they be motivated at something they were forced to do in general? The Army is the second largest employer in the United States, and therefore it shows that even though the program isn't mandatory, there are hundreds and thousands of individuals that want to fight and protect our country that are willing to join it every year. For instance, let's talk about another program, such as the Peace Corps. Now, a lot of people consider the Peace Corps kind of a froofy thing to join, but it isn't true. The Peace Corps does amazing things throughout the world. One of them being that they'll go to different countries and they'll actually teach different countries how to speak English, or they'll promote clean water and other sources like that. And currently, right now, there are 6,919 individuals that are actually part of the volunteer program known as the Peace Corps. And these are just two different types of programs that we were talked about today to decide whether or not they should be mandatory. But the honest truth is, even though they're not mandatory, there are thousands of individuals every day that are passionate enough to take the time to go and join them. When you make something mandatory and it forces an individual to do something, there is that small percentage of individuals that will enjoy it and realize that it was the greatest thing in their life. But then there's the other percentages. Those individuals will actually give these organizations a bad name, because not only will they do stupid things, but they also have a negative attitude from day-to-day activities. Who really wants to give these individuals guns when they weren't even motivated enough to get up in the morning and go to school? I personally believe that these organizations have helped millions of people discover themselves and to find out what makes them truly happy. But that's because of the choices they made in their life. Now we have to take into consideration that throughout the different times things change, such as when our country itself goes into Army, sometimes they call a mandatory draft. First of all, this is not the case right now. There is no mandatory draft in place. This is just a theoretical question, deciding whether or not we should even think about doing it. The other thing is, back when the mandatory draft was in place, around the 1960s or so, actually about 1950s, there wasn't the technology we have nowadays. We actually have drones who will fly over a country and can tell us exactly what's going on. Not only do we have surveillance drones like that, but we also have drones that can go and shoot out missiles or attack, which is the reason why we don't need as many soldiers on the ground. Technology has made it so that we don't need a mandatory draft as far as the Army is concerned. Volunteer programs, however, shouldn't be mandatory because they are respected and they are important in our community. While I do think more people should join these type of programs to help our country, I think it should be their choice. Because when an individual is truly forced into something, nothing good can ever come from it. Thank you.